All right. Oh, I think we're going to all three locations. Okay. What's going on, Black Speakers Network family? Bronos in the building. We are back for yet another Speakers Magazine cover reveal for September 2021 and live interview with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Rodney C. Burris, Baltimore's own in the building. Also joined by Pam Perry, founder and publisher at Speakers Magazine. We got Cier Black in the building, Atlanta, Georgia. Stand up. She is knows how to put words to the paper and make us shine. So what's going on, everybody?
Good afternoon.
This is special because we're actually live together
for the first time.
Yes. We're like doing like a TV show or something.
That's right.
It is. This is called foreshadowing.
More to come.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right. Now tell everybody where you all are physically and what you're there for.
We're actually in Troy, Michigan. He's from Baltimore, but he came here for the Sean Fair Leadership Experience Tour.
That's
and
right.
He just got off the stage.
Just left the stage.
I think he's on live he was on Mark's live, or were you on your just video? We're going to put it up on the Speakers Magazine page because he is the cover guy for BAM.
Congratulations.
There you go. He is there. So this is September 2021. Don't forget about September 20.
Huh?
Yeah.
So Brian, I didn't even realize we are a year apart, bro.
Yeah, 1 year apart.
Listen, this picture, Brian, I love my photo. This is so classic, right? So what Brian doesn't know is I took a picture of me holding the phone because I was inspired.
By that.
I remember that.
I was inspired. That's right.
That's on the inside. Oh, but no, he's on the inside. It got him looking at the phone. Like,
I know the picture.
Right. I'm trying to be important.
Grandkid, so I know the picture he's talking about, and back at it. Well, I got so many people were hitting me up when this issue hit at the beginning of this month, and it was like, I knew Rodney. Okay, so leadership expert, youth advocate, educator, trainer. They knew all of that. It was like, is Rodney, does he have is he dropping like a mixtape? Like, is he like, what's going on? Is he a singer too? Like, what's going on?
No, they didn't ask you that. They asked you that, Brian?
Yeah, I can tell you who. She's probably listening.
They asked me that too. Oh my goodness. Like, you look like the R&B classic, but you want to know something? The reason why I rep Baltimore so much is because we're going to redefine what it means to be from Baltimore. And the reason why I got that microphone on that front cover is because we're going to take back the mic from the singers and give it to the speakers that are motivating the generations, right? So yeah, I'm repping the mic as a part of the craft. Absolutely.
You know what, Pam and I talked about it. And so our perception, our point of view was that you are a superstar. Okay, so that mic is very fitting for who Rodney C. Burris. Everybody can't get away with that. Okay. But you are a superstar. So it worked in this case. It worked. Okay.
I'm on a natural high. I just left the stage.
I'm sure that stage is on fire. The fire people putting it out right now.
They're trying to. It gives me life. It gives me life to do this. And so I feel invigorated, but I'm happy to be here. I want to answer all of the questions. Shout out to Kent Wade. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it.
Listen, we got a ton of stuff to talk about, and I'm so excited that you're here. First of all, I am really just kind of coming from this place of, and again, Cier, a great article. I was reading it earlier. We're going to walk through. First of all, if anybody that's new, what you're listening to now is we meet every month here in the Black Speakers Network community. I believe we're streaming to both communities as well as my personal page. So if people are just watching this and you're trying to figure out what's going on, that's what's happening. So Speakers Magazine is the official magazine of Black Speakers Network. It is in its 4th year of publication. Speakersmagazine.net is where you want to go to check out this issue and all past issues that you see featured here. And it is the predominant magazine for Black speakers, and I want to make sure that folks know about the amazing work that's taking place. And so, Rodney, super excited to have you on the cover. We're going to dive in. We got some questions for you. If you all have questions for Rodney, as he mentioned, go ahead and put them into the comments, whatever platform you're watching on, or if you're watching a replay, just show some love and some shit and share. Absolutely.
The first thing,
go ahead.
I just want to say thank you to Cier. So Cier, I don't know if I had a chance to thank you the way I wanted to. I read the article and it was almost as if I was reading about a different person. I told you that our conversation felt alive. Yeah, I know you remember me saying that. It was
right.
Cier has a gift, you guys, of like engaging in an interview type conversation that feels like you go way back and you're just uncovering stuff. And so every now and then she would say, wait, repeat that. And it would pull me back that we're having an interview because it felt so relaxed and conversational. Mm-hmm. And she took those nuggets, guys, and wove them together in such a way where when I read it, it was a piece and it felt great. And so Cier, you're really, really good at what you do.
Rodney, thank you so much. Let me just say that you made it easy. You made this writing easy. I thoroughly and sincerely enjoy talking to everyone, that Pam works with and put on the cover. But that was, Brian asked me about the article writing and I just get so inspired. I mean, I I should be paying Pam to let me do this, but I get so inspired every month, and getting to meet people. But you made this easy. There was so much, and I hope we get a chance to discuss some of the things not in the article because there's so much richness in what you do. Like Brian said, people know you from so many different facets, and having to really just tell that little bit of story does not do you justice. But I want people to try to connect with you and get to know you on a personal level like we do. So I hope we achieve that this month. But congratulations to you.
Thank you, Cier.
We could start that right now because I learned a lot of stuff in this article that I have questions about. Number one, I didn't realize that you started speaking at age 15. We talking about bro. So it was like, we're talking about sophomore year of high school. So tell us what that was like.
So that was not my sophomore year of high school. I was a dad. I was almost a dad. So my twins were born right at the end of 2005, going into 2006. I got 5 kids, right? So keeping up with all these birthdays is crazy. I can't keep doing that. But I needed part-time income, and I had a mentor, and I went to him. We jumped online, and we found a speakers bureau. And he told me this, and it reminded me of what Pam had said to me before. He was like, bro, this is tailor-made for you. When you do this, you're going to take off. But I didn't connect with it. I almost didn't believe it. It sounded good, but it wasn't mine.
And so you just said 15?
2005?
No, I said 15.
How old am I?
So unless I misquoted this, but it sounded like I thought I read in the article you started speaking at 15. Is that right?
No, 15 years ago.
15 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
What?
Okay. So my birthday was this month. Being on the Speakers Magazine cover was a phenomenal birthday gift.
40
years old. I am 40. And I'm so proud of that because
that's a divine number.
I've been the youngest in the room for so long.
He was 40 years in the desert.
40 years.
But listen, go back, Rodney, and keep telling that story because it's pretty crucial. And it explains some things about his ability and on the speaking forum. Yes. So keep going. Okay.
So
we're on Clubhouse too, guys, by the way.
I love that.
Oh, fantastic.
Lillian, hey Shadell, hey Pamela. We are so even though my voice is like beaming, that's Rodney talking. My voice did not change.
No, Pam's voice is deep now, y'all. Hey Shadell, hey Lillian, hey Pamela. Okay, so Cier just asked me guys on Clubhouse to finish telling this story because it ties in, right? Okay, so my big brother / mentor that I work with, he asked me to apply for this opportunity, and I said no. Well, I said yes, but my actions didn't follow through. And so that was on a Friday. All I had to do was record a short video, send in my resume. He met me on Monday, and he was so proud of me. He was like, did you do it? And I had excuse after excuse, Brian after excuse, and I just couldn't get myself to admit to him that I felt fearful. I felt inadequate. I didn't feel I was ready for this opportunity. It was outside of my reach. Well, he did for me on that Monday what he did for me on Friday. What he did for me on Friday, which y'all don't know, is he walked me around to the whole building, to the managers, to the CEOs. It's like, Rodney won't be here with us long. He's about to go. He's going to do this opportunity. It's going to change his life, right? Well, on Monday, he walked me back to all of them. And he said, I apologize on behalf of Rodney. This is the face of a person that does not believe in himself. He'll be here. He's not going anywhere. He was so incensed with me that he had tears rimming his eyes. And I promise you guys, if we weren't at the workplace, I thought he was going to use some other forms of communication in order to get his point across. But you want to know something? It came from a good place, which is why I said it was reminiscent of what Pam had said to me. And every so often, I guess I need somebody in my life to say something not so comfortable to me that comes from a good place, because it jolts me. It kickstarts me into my next level. Well, later that week, I recorded my little thing. I sent it in, and the rest was history. Now, it was a bunch of jumps and bumps in there. As an adult, I have been on government assistance. As an adult, I've had the times where my lights got cut off. Now, my lights didn't get cut off because we didn't have money. My lights got cut off because we had a big break. There was something that went awry within my house, and we didn't have the money to pay all them thousands of dollars to get it fixed. So here I am kind of going through the motion. Actually, I'm misquoting that. It wasn't my lights, it was my furnace. But still, either way, it was cold and it wasn't a fun experience. So I don't want to say the rest was history, because sometimes Jay-Z says this, Brian. I just literally saw this quote not too long ago.
Okay.
He says, people often mimic the outcome or the results, but they don't mimic the process and the work, right?
One more time. Give it one more time, man. Somebody didn't catch it, bro.
Yeah, man.
Hate the treat.
People mimic the outcome. They mimic what it looks like, but they don't mimic the process and the work. And because of that, it's always this miss. Well, I think part of that is on them, true, but it's on us. It's on folks like me, you and Arlinda, Detrice, and Ty, and Pamela, and Sharon, and Lillian. Folks like us that are in positions of influence to show our work, like math class, right? To be like, this is how I got to here. So if I just say I'm on a cover and it's shiny and I applied one time and the rest was history, that sounds great for me.
He's a Branding Accelerator graduate.
That's right.
Ready, set, go. Taking the classes in Black Speakers Network, showing up at the events, doing the work.
Getting fussed at. She keep glossing over that part, y'all. She keep...
Pam fusses at you well, okay? Pam fusses at you well. All of us on this call have had to have experienced Pam.
I saw you posted
like, okay, what are you doing?
That's right.
Where are you?
Right.
Show up.
Right.
You posted 10 minutes ago.
Just about showing up. Showing up and engaging.
But look, let me go back. I'm sorry, because
Yes.
this is key with Rodney too. I love that he was very transparent, and he said, even after that occurred, it wasn't like all of a sudden things happened. Because what I found crucial and very impressive is that when he did begin speaking, right, he said he was just doing it for some income. He was like, yeah, I could do this. Because his capability.
Right.
Because that was his talent, his skill. He was just doing it. He was going through the motion. Okay, I got this gig. I could do this. I could do that. And it wasn't until someone approached him in tears that caused him to begin thinking seriously about the gift that he was given.
I had to change it up after that, Cier. So I was in a high school in Delaware, and I was in what they call a cafetorium. So those of you who've been in high school situations, it was the one multi-purpose room, right? They did everything in there.
Everything,
so I just got finished talking to the 11th graders and doing my song and dance. I'm comfortable with myself in front of people. I'm talking about life after graduation, scholarships, being attentive, being a good student, all that kind of stuff, right? I meant it. Well, there was a group of students that came up afterwards and just went, hey, that was cool. My mom said, and after they left, there was a young lady. She could barely speak English. And she came to me and she said, before now, I didn't think this was for me, but now I know that it is. Thank you. And it took her so much to pull those little statements together. And I don't know what she meant by this was for me. School, graduation, college, being in America? I'm not sure, but I do know that her tears conveyed more message than anything I experienced before then. And I realized, to Cier's point, y'all, I can't play with this, right? Like, it's one thing to be an entertainer, it's one thing to be inspirational, but when you have the opportunity to transform people, their trajectory,
you unlock their greatness,
unlocking that human potential.
There you go.
That was the first time that I saw somebody get unlocked in the moment.
Yep.
And it changed my life. Seeing it happen for them had an inverse effect that unlocked it for myself. That's exactly it.
That's it. We are with Speakers Magazine and Black Speakers Network, and also on Clubhouse as well.
That's right.
So I want to say hey. And my voice is beaming on Clubhouse. It looks like it's me, but it is Rodney C. Burris who's on the cover. You can go to speakersmagazine.com. You can read it. The whole issue is there. One of the articles that is in there, I do want to mention, is called Tips for Better Speaker Proposals, written by none other than our partner, Brian J.
Yes.
This is an art.
That's a great shot too, Brian.
That's a great shot.
That is a great shot. I love this shot.
Samsung Galaxy S21.
Tell him. Not an iPhone.
Not an iPhone. Wasn't a photo shoot.
Okay.
Not on my phone.
No. But the thing of it is that you talked about three things: about missing information when people are filling out proposals, unclear objectives, and boring titles. So it's hard to really write this, Brian, like you did in 350 words or less.
Yeah.
But you can really tell people more about it, because, you know, people in Black Speakers Network, they're always coming through and you give them opportunities. They fill out the call for speakers proposals, but you realize they're not getting it. And that's what he talks about in this article, why they are probably not getting those speaking gigs. So
yeah, it's really important, because I mean, Rodney, I know you've experienced this, man, too. Like, you know, when you're in this business, you sit in different seats. So one seat is you are the speaker, and then another seat you are a meeting planner.
Right.
Pam, the seat that you sit in, you're like, you know, trying to communicate between speakers and meeting planners.
Trying to pitch them to the media.
Right.
And if they not looking right, I can't pitch them.
That's right.
And I think that part is, you know, that's why I love the fact that you have programs like the Branding Accelerator, you know, Black Speakers Network, we have things, but I think sometimes the reason I wrote that particular article is because sometimes you could have all of those things in place, but we're just lazy, you know, or we just don't like pay attention to detail. And so in those situations, it's kind of like, hey, I asked for this piece of information and I didn't submit it, or I'm asking for you know, like a synopsis of what it is, and you're taking like stock language, or you don't take time to really understand the theme of the event, and you just kind of put whatever you've been sending to everybody, and it's falling flat, or just flat out missing information. It's kind of like, you know, in the corporate world, when you send in a resume, you always hear like, if it has a mistake on it, it goes in the trash. So I think the exact equivalent of that is those proposals where you're missing information, or you have mistakes, or things just isn't clear. Like if I have to pick up the phone and like get clarity, I'm probably just gonna pass over it to the other, you know.
That's too much work. That's too much work. Understanding your audience. You know, you have to know whatever you're doing, who are you doing it for? How do they receive information? What are their standards? Just everything. So that is a good piece, Brian.
One of the things that Cier and I didn't get to cover in our article, and shout out to Rosalind and Cynthia and Delmar. Thank you guys so much.
And Yolanda Spearman, who just called on the phone.
We on
Clubhouse. You can't call me on the phone. She goes, where are you guys?
She trying to find us.
We're in Troy.
Brian's point about doing the work, right, and not just being lazy. So, guys, and you know this. When I say this is going to rekindle what we already know. Soft skills are transferable. Hard skills are specific to the trade or the industry, right? Soft skills we can use in different places. Well, I was preparing for a race at one point. I just kind of talked about this race on stage just a few minutes ago. But what I didn't share with them was, because it was so many miles, it was 10 miles. I never ran 10 miles in my life, nonstop. For me, that's about 2 hours straight of jogging. Now, can you imagine? Now, come on, y'all.
I can't. No, I can't.
Can you imagine?
Nope.
2 hours of nonstop jogging, right? And so in order to get myself ready for that, I would jog every Thursday for the whole 10 miles. Body felt like I got beat up with baseball bats at the end of every Thursday. And I would say this prayer. And I don't care if you call it affirmations or reminders or being centered or whatever you need to say, but connect to the sentiment behind this. I would ask.
Let me tell Yolanda this real quick. Yolanda, we're in the Oak Park room. Okay, Oak Park room.
Oh, she's here.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yes, I am. I'm looking at
They tracking us down.
Come on in and just come on in.
Okay, so I would repeat this to myself, that the diligence that I was building week after week after week, running for 2 hours nonstop, that I would be able to transfer that to other parts of my life.
Come on.
We just had a superstar come in the building. We just had the superstar Yolanda Spearman.
This is literally the most interactive speaking magazine in history. Like,
this is what happens when you bring Pam and Rodney and Cier and Brian to the table.
I think CNN is just picking us up. I think,
we don't. What is next? Go ahead, finish that, Rodney, because that's pretty key.
So here's the deal. That diligence of being able to stick to something week after week, despite the hurt, the pain, because I wanted to finish that goal of that race. For me, by the time I met Pam, and by the time I got connected to Brian, and I was doing these other things, working with Brian, being connected to Brian is great. But when Brian sends out alerts that opportunities are coming, if you don't do the stuff, you don't get the opportunity. Right? If you don't submit the proposal, it doesn't matter that you know Brian. It don't matter. You got a website.
Hand me your phone.
So you have to.
Your phone.
My phone. So many devices going on around
What
here.
is going on there? Okay,
So
go ahead,
many
Rodney.
devices.
Got to make sure studio over here.
And so, Cier, when I met Pam and I was going through the Ready, Set, Go, Speak,
Yeah.
you would kind of talk to me about this sometimes. Like, Rodney, you could have done it online. She has these beautiful PDFs and handouts, and I would print them. And I would print them because I needed the physical experience of working through it. But if I didn't do that, I know me, I would have been like, oh, I'm good.
Right.
Oh, I clicked, I get it. I wouldn't have done the work. And
Right.
so to Brian's point, a big part of the outward manifestation is the internal journey of becoming different and better. And that's what I share on the stages around the world.
Listen,
I love that.
Rodney, one more thing, and then I'm gonna let y'all have this interview. But I'm sorry, some of this stuff just has got to go. You talked about soft skills, hard skills, putting in the work. Okay, let's briefly talk about the biggest obstacle you had to overcome, and that was the person you said where in the mirror. Talk about the process you went through, because I think people often forget, in order to really walk in your greatness and fulfill your purpose, you must first come to understand who you are, why you are the way you are, and embrace every aspect of you, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And Rodney was telling me a story about how he just kept running from this one person that had been in his life for so many years. And then he revealed to me who that person was.
And then after that, we got a question too. So I want to make sure.
Okay, absolutely. So I'm gonna take this moment to be transparent, right? You can't have a transformational experience if you don't kind of join in that process. So my wife and I have 5 children, and I always considered myself to be a great dad. Well, I realized that I didn't always, and I don't mean this kind of like the funny, commercial, annoying kind of way. I mean this like in a very heartfelt way. I didn't really always like my kids. And one of them in particular was a huge irritant for me. And I didn't really know how to deal with that. Whenever I would talk to them, I just always had short patience that I was struggling to overcome. And it was getting to me. Let me tell you how recent this was. When quarantine hit a year and a half, 2 years ago, and we were around each other all the time.
Well, everybody struggled with that. I mean, I was by myself and I was arguing with
I could give myself that caveat, right? I could say, oh, it was just the close quarters. But the truth of the matter is that when they were little,
The same way.
Right? What's my excuse back then? So I didn't have that. And I really was dealing with, as much as I believe in what I say and share and how I live, if I'm not careful, I'm about to put a whole bunch of young people out into the world that are going to search for that validation they should have got from daddy during formative years. Okay. I have a therapist because I believe in working on ourselves, just like personal trainers and eating vitamins. I think it's healthy. And I encourage you to do the same for yourself, whether it's a pastor, big brother, whatever. So I went to my counselor and I was like, bro, I think I got a problem with my kids, man. And he was like, really? How so? And so I was explaining to him some stuff. And what we uncovered was this right here. When my kids came along, it was during a phase of my life where I didn't really like myself. I felt like I had given up on myself when they were born, right? When they were coming in. Well, each time that happened, they kind of were a snapshot, a reflection of the me that was. Mm. And I never got over them being like me, you. Correct. Me being that guy. So although I'm becoming different and better, engaging with them, they encapsulate the old me for me subconsciously. Mm-hmm. And so it's not anything that they can do to ever really get through to daddy. How? They didn't earn it. They taken on my old stuff. And so when we uncovered that, he said, okay. I tell you what, I want you to bring something in that reminds you of those different periods. And collectively, we're going to bring in the guy that represents that. So I was sharing this story with Cier, and she was like, okay, great. Like, who's this guy? And I was like, Cier, you're missing it. The guy that represents that period that I didn't like so much was me. My therapist wants to bring me, the other me, the old me in and sit down so we can work some stuff out. Mm-hmm. And I got offended. And I shook my head for like 2 minutes straight. You know how crazy that is to shake your head for 2 minutes? That's a problem, right? That's not normal, but I shook my head like, And he looked at me, he was like, what? I said, I don't want him in here.
He did not want him there, y'all.
No, I don't want him in. I said, I don't like him. I said, he abandoned me. And I broke down crying. I'm not really the crying type. I had a breakdown crying moment in that moment. And what I realized is if I don't do the work, I call it homework. I'm pointing to myself for those, my little buttons popping. But for those, my little buttons popping. But for those that can't see me, I was motioning like internal, like to my chest heart area, like right in that middle bone right there. That's the home that we live in. And doing the self-work produces the progress, right? And if I don't go back and do the self-work of figuring out why I abandoned me back then and what did I really need, and then go back and hugging that part of me, embracing that part of me, loving on that part of me, giving that part of me to God to let God love on that part of me through me, etc. Whatever that means, if I don't do those things, I can never get to the point of being different and better as a dad, which affects my life. So with that being said, that was something that I shared. It was very, very vulnerable for me to share that with Cier. But when I tell you guys that Cier made our space so safe, it felt natural to go into that story. And I'm glad I got to share it again here. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. And that's, I am an advocate in helping, my big thing is self-awareness. And in order for you, again, to really find joy and happiness and work in your purpose, you have got to be vulnerable, transparent, and be willing to discover those things about you that are causing and holding you back. So, congratulations to you. And for those who missed it, the biggest obstacle Rodney had was Rodney at the time. That's and right. Once he uncovered that and embraced that, he was able to move that trajectory forward as to where he is now and where he's going in the future. Absolutely. So I'm going to pull back. I'm going to give y'all back this interview. I have enjoyed it so much, but guys, go right on. Welcome.
Yolanda.
That's right. Welcome.
That's okay.
Yeah, I think that it's you bring in the conversation of mental health, and I know that's the big piece that you're asking for. But isn't it crazy? Like nobody in a modern country or whatever would intentionally go like an entire lifetime without seeing a doctor. Like we go to a physical like every year, stuff like that. But we could ignore like our mental health this entire time. And so I think particularly in the Black community,
for everything, we have to normalize.
Yeah, and so that's a huge conversation. Anytime that we can like spotlight it,
that's right.
It's great. I do want to go back to this question, but before and then we want to jump into the cover and the magazine. Pam, do you want to introduce Yolanda?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Yolanda Spearman. She was in the magazine the month of August. There she is. Woo-hoo! We call her the voiceover lady. Right. She does the voiceover. She is one of the voices that you hear all the time, probably on the Wayfair commercial. That is a national commercial. She is a Branding Accelerator graduate. She lives in Detroit. She is also creating an event in October for those who want to get started in the voiceover industry. Wow. Use your voice. You know, your audience awaits, but it could also await on commercials as well when you can get paid. Right. So that's one of the things too. So she is really good at that. And so Yolanda Spearman, YolandaVO.com.
Well, Yolanda, welcome to Black Speakers Network. Welcome to the event. I would love to have you. Are you in BSN already?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. I thought so. So I would love to have you come and what date is your event coming up?
I haven't signed the contract yet, but it's supposed to be mid-October, the third Sunday of October. But I have to just make sure the contract is good. So that's why I haven't given out the date yet.
No problem. Well, crazy part is October's in like 2 weeks. So that's but regardless, since you're going to be doing thought leadership around this topic, I would love to have you come to Black Speakers Network to do a training specifically.
Go up. There you go.
I would love to. It'd be my pleasure.
Yeah, that'd be great. They say 80%
is one of the ones where you will hear a smile in the voice. And I've seen her act on TikTok too, doing the grandma.
Oh, I do. I have a show, a little short from Netflix Futures. It's called Legacies and Recipes. I have 2 episodes and I play 2 characters. I play the mother and the grandmother.
Who knew? She was the grandmother. And I was like,
and the mother.
I was like, yes, that was voice acting. So it's a little bit different from a voice over, like an announcer, but like a voice actor where she's showing you how to use it. It's deep.
Nice. I have a tremendous amount of respect for it. We just I just dropped a
mixtape.
No, that's not until the spring. That's not until spring. But no, I just dropped a Facebook ad into the Black Speakers Network premium group just to get feedback on it. And I shot it myself. I did it, and everybody was like, "Why is this guy so monotone?" And I was like, all right, well, obviously I need to work on this. But people don't realize that is a refined skill, but it's accessible, and right now it's needed more than ever. So I would love to talk more about that as we get into it. Yes. Okay, let me find this question really quick.
Yes.
I think it was from Cynthia because she was talking about when we were talking about the article.
Cynthia Hickman.
Mentioned, let's see. She was saying, here it is. Okay. Is it asking for clarity? Always a trash can. Okay. So she was talking about when we were saying, hey, make sure you fully fill out all the proposals and making sure that you have all the information. So if you're just reaching out asking for clarity, is that an issue? My answer is no. In fact, I think
I agree.
One of the things that we talk about a lot is that, and Rodney, I know you do this, like that question, like anytime you're going in to speak or you're just trying to find out more about the information, that kind of speaker questionnaire is super.
Yeah, but same thing. I just want to piggyback on that. I don't think that's an automatic trash can moment. So just so you guys are on the same page with everybody, we were talking about when you submit a speaker proposal, like right on the cover of this magazine in a beautiful article that Brian wrote. If you don't have everything in order, sometimes they're just going to just delete yours, go to the next, right? And so the question was, if I ask for clarity around what they want, is that going to automatically end me up in the trash can getting deleted? And both Brian and I, based on experience, think that that's actually a benefit. And so one of the things that I love is staying on top of mind, right? Staying on top of mind. So I went through a period of stalking our dear Pam Perry, right? Because I didn't know it would ever land us here. I didn't know where it would go, but I knew I needed to not just be one of the hundreds of people in her network, right? I needed to become top of mind. And she's great at ignoring for a long time.
sometimes I have this one person that called me and then they were crazy. And so now when they call me, it comes up crazy man.
Brian, did you hear what she just said about me? Brian,
I ain't mad though.
In her defense, as a publicist, because that's where I started, being a publicist too. You're leery about giving out information because it's just crazy like that. But Rodney, she ignored me too.
Okay.
But let me tell you something about Pam. You think she's ignoring you? She is watching you. Because I had stalked her on all platforms and everything.
It wasn't just me.
No, it wasn't just you.
And then I'm not the only stalker. Don't judge me.
Out the blue, she approached me and asked me to conduct an interview for her. I'm like, I ain't never met her. And this was a huge interview, a celebrity interview. And I was like, this woman don't know me.
Oh my God.
How's she gonna trust me? And because I know PR, I'm like, how's she gonna trust me with her brand like that? She doesn't know me. This woman had seen me. She had watched me. She had asked people about me. She had asked her team, what do you think of her? So we think she's ignoring us, but that's really the thoroughness, and so it's not easy to get in there. You have to have quality, value, and everything. So that's a good thing, Rodney, where we are today.
Right.
Knows what she thinks of us.
I was gonna say, because I don't know what the problem is, because she just called me. Like, I was like, what's up?
Before I called you, I was watching you, right?
Okay.
So I was watching for a while, and I was like, I think I like this guy.
Hey, Brian, you was like, I don't even know what y'all talking about.
She did you the same way, Brian. That's her MO. That's how she knows who to pull into her network.
I love it. I love it.
Cier, you didn't talk about when I asked you to interview Jamie Foster Brown.
That's what I'm talking about.
And you interviewed her, and then you called me. They said, "Yeah, that was a great interview. Who's going to write the story?"
Because guys, she and I had not had a conversation. So how was I to know, right? But she had watched me and had found out whatever she needed about me, and she was willing to entrust me with her brand.
Yeah,
and that's huge for a publicist.
That's huge.
A celebrity publicist at that, a well-known publicist.
Yes,
I was like, oh yeah.
So we're laughing, guys, but I really hope you catch the nugget. The consistency, right? The consistency is key. And so I really, really hope that shines through. I know we're laughing. It helps the medicine go down. But the truth in that is when you stay consistent and you do the self-work, so you have something that they can work with, right? Yes. And you do both of those together, you have the opportunity to really jump and go leaps and bounds ahead of where we are right now. Awesome.
Is there a video on the cover?
Yeah, we got yes.
Okay, so it is. So I'll switch that video that's on the cover out with this one that we're doing right now.
Okay.
So, so I think right now, the cover is one of your good videos that you always have up there.
Me? Okay.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Which one is that, Brian?
I want video of him in the booth.
Let's see which one.
Mad Fire?
Which one is this?
This is an interview too.
That's the one, yeah. So that one where we were talking about, I interviewed him. So that one was good, but I'll replace it with this one.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
All right. So let's talk about this cover. First of all, can I borrow the microphone? Yes. I have some stuff coming up.
Brian, I told you the mic doesn't work for everyone. It works for Brian. I mean, for Rodney. So.
Nope. I absolutely need to borrow this. So is purple your brand color, or
purple
did it just
purple was not my brand color. I did that particular day. So when I speak, I wear black on black, right? Thank you so much for somebody said it was a gorgeous cover. Thank you so much. When I speak, when I train, when I do workshops, I wear black on black. One is simple to get ready in the morning. Right? Speaker tip. Number two, it always matches. If I sweat a little bit, you can't really see it. It hides wrinkles well. But I recently learned from these two people sitting next to me having a conversation, Pam and Yolanda, that each of the colors actually have a lot of meaning and intent behind them. The psychology of colors. I didn't know that black represented authority. Right? And purple represents wisdom and knowledge. So this cover, I look like I know what I'm talking about, probably because of the goddamn color of the shirt, which is phenomenal. And then in person, I come purple. George Frazier's wearing purple. That's how you know I'm in good company. And then, in person, in order to really impact, wearing that black kind of gives me an edge of authority. I didn't realize that. I didn't understand the psychology of color, but that was really, really awesome. So I did a photo shoot, Brian, with multiple changes of clothes that day. And that classic picture that I always, mimic you and give you a shout out about was that day as well. So I had no idea that this would be the branding picture. This picture has come up a whole lot with other people. I send them this little portfolio to choose from, and a lot of people like it. And I think it's a great shot, but I didn't know that it would get chosen like this.
Well, I think there's a couple of brands that have, I was just looking up purple, and it has, brands like FedEx is kind of like blue with the blue purple-ish with the X being like red. But like there's a lot of Hallmark, it's purple and stuff like that. So absolutely.
It's royalty. B is how I consider myself. I got to say something in Pam's Clubhouse last night. I got to share this, and this is my honest truth. You can share it to them too. I'm right now, Clubhouse family. I said this last night. You're gonna hear me say it again if you back. I believe in wealth mindset, and for me, that's starting to finally turn into some dollars, trickling. But the process to get there, because I came from a background in a family situation of poverty mindset. I didn't even know that. I didn't know that we shared broke people ideals back and forth as if they were truth, and it keep you locked down. But a part of the wealth mindset for me, right, was not getting sick. I believe in that. I believe that health is a choice, healthiness, right? And so because I believe it, maybe it affects my food habits, maybe it affects where I go, I don't know. But because I believe that, I don't get sick. And I appreciate that. Well, I also believe in the wealth mindset that I think that's reflected in this cover. That cover looks like royalty to me, right? And Pam through the stage back there and the lights back there.
I know, shout out to the designer, he always does I said, shout out to the designer, the layout designer, Pam's graphic designer. Woo! He does a fantastic job with the covers as the full layout of the magazine.
So this is not a live shot of you at the garden?
Not yet, Rodney, not yet, but it's coming. It's coming.
All right. Well, okay. So this is a phenomenal issue, Pam. We want to jump into walking through, and then we'll get to the cover story in a few moments. Obviously, we have SpeakerCon 2021 coming up November 4th through 7th, and Black Speakers Network is a sponsor of this event as well. Visionary Dr. Cheryl Wood is putting this on. This is the third year, I believe, that we are doing SpeakerCon. Pam and I walked away with some hardware a couple years ago. That was cool. And it keeps getting bigger and bigger. And so now this 4-day kind of hybrid experience, day one will actually be in person. We'll be in Arlington, Virginia. There's a networking event followed by the gala, where a lot of the reward recipients will be recognized, and the keynote for that particular evening is Mr. Trent Shelton. And so super excited about this. So Pam, are you going to be there in Arlington?
I will be there.
Okay.
Those are some heavy hitters right there.
Yeah. Dr. Stacia Pierce is a former client of mine as well. So she's going to be speaking on manifestation. Definitely you got George and Les. They're the bookends for Speak Up, our book, right? So they're going to be there. Mickey is there, former working with Essence. Lynn, she's on WVON, which I want to talk to you, Brian, about. WVON is going to be doing the Bond Talks, which is kind of like the TED Talks. It's Chicago's one of the oldest Black radio stations in the country. So anyways, I want to talk to you about that, the Bond Talks. And Audria Richmond, she's a really cool marketing person as well. So yeah, this is a vision that Cheryl put together, and we're glad to always support that type of thing. Black media, I talk about that all the time. If you want to reach Black media, definitely use blackpr.com. Put your press releases out there. I think Dr. Cynthia Hickman said that she finally did that. Woo! And she got some response from media, some interviews and things like that. It works. Just do what Pam tell you to do.
Shout out.
It's really that simple. Do what Pam tells you to do.
I'm a witness.
Now I have a question about this. So, do they write the press release, or you write it and then they submit it?
Yeah,
and put it out on the wire.
Maybe a publicist or somebody write it, or learn how to write it from maybe one of my programs or something like that.
Hello.
They don't write it. They will reject it if it's not written well. So I tell you that. So,
okay,
yeah,
so this is Dante Lee, right?
Yes, Dante Lee.
Perfect.
They will reject it if it's not written right.
All right.
And the publisher's page, there's a picture of us down there because we were at SpeakerCon last year, us holding our little trophies. And then there's Mark. Mark is over there on the other side. Did you want to come over here and say hi? Okay, so it's too much. See, kind of tight over here at this point. But I talk about the Branding Accelerator Program, which we have opening up October 5th.
Yes.
So that's coming up October 5th. So really, it's a good, if you want to accelerate your brand, you first have to have one. And then if you have one, then you want to accelerate it. So that's
the key. You first must have one, right?
Yes.
Can I plug this here?
Yeah. In all fairness, I help people develop one too. So I help people. I prepare people for Pam.
Yeah.
And she just sends you into the stratosphere.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So he's a graduate, and I'm telling you this, it's 12 weeks, it's intense, and I always take people, if you can take it, you can make it.
It's intense.
It's intense.
And let me just add you guys.
It's intense. Like
Look,
one of those sessions was on SEO, and they were like,
oh yeah.
Well,
yeah. But listen to Pam. Let them know that they are interviewed to be part of the program.
Yeah, you don't just get in.
You have to meet the criteria. Like she said, you have to have a brand, but there are other things that she's looking for to see if you're even ready for such an investment.
Gel with each other, because it's a small group. They have to gel with each other.
It's like boot camp, and it's connected to Pam's personal brand, and everybody that I've ever met.
Rodney, lean into the camera a little bit.
Oh, I'm here. I'm not just a voice. It's connected to Pam's personal brand. Move my feet up. Well, Yolanda, I want you to be in it.
I'm okay. I'm good. Yeah.
So because of that, not only is it an intense process of back-to-back stuff, but it also is reflective of who she is in the industry. And so I've met people that I've talked to that know Pam when she wasn't around. Her name is good, right? And so she's I understand her being protective of that. This is not just some pay your money and you get in. This is like, yeah, you got money. That's great. She's not even really moved by that kind of stuff.
Right.
So
it's gotta fit.
Yeah.
It's gotta fit in. I really like the fact that I teach them things that they can use for a lifetime.
That's right.
That's what I was going to get to too. The return on the investment is way beyond the cost of the program, because this is a lifetime. What you learn. I mean, you can ask Rodney and Yolanda right now what they've been able to achieve just based on going through 12 weeks with Pam, the people they've met, the opportunities they've encountered, the connections they've made.
Absolutely.
So the return on investment is amazing. You know,
I
so
continue to watch them too, what they're doing online. I was like, ooh, pull that back, pull that in, what's you doing here?
I can't help me get away.
I saw Rodney made a post earlier today, and Pam was writing the comments like, "Yo, where's your website?" I was like, "Yo, you talking about like
get away, y'all?
Like you blood in, blood out."
It's only about driving traffic to your website. Right. So you post a picture and you just say, "Hey, let me introduce myself."
Nah,
you're
not doing that.
Okay, great. What's your
That's
website?
right, Tisha Nicole. The return is phenomenal.
Right? I know she cared. I was just hoping that I was going to get away for.
No, you don't care nothing about you being cute.
You thought because you got a curve, you thought I was wrong.
Likes. She don't care nothing about them likes. Okay?
Now, Cier, he thought that because he was in the same room with her, like he encapsulated the notice.
Like, oh no, Emma did a great photo, but what's the website?
Right.
Okay. So now we got Miss Fan Fan. I just love Miss Fan Fan. She's Haitian American female, and she is smoking. You got to go to her website. She is one of those people that is a psychologist, and we talk about mental health. Right. She is serious. When you go to the website, she's a psychologist, not sitting up there with some glasses with a little look how fly she look. Okay, so yeah, she got the brand together. She may be the next Ayanna Bazan.
There we go.
Oh, right.
I like her branding too, because it's is it Shell?
Ask Shelly.
Shelly
Fan Fan.
So she's the
video. Open it up really quick. If you can open it up, just see how her video plays. It's just really like one of those things where it stands in front of you and it tells you exactly who she is. So it's not like, how do I say? It's not like a speaking reel, but just more or less like, there you go.
Yeah, I got
done. You trust her, you feel like, okay, she knows what she's talking about, even if you don't even hear those words. It's like, okay. So you see her little logo, her little bug in the background. Yeah, there you go. It's in the show, like I'm talking to patients, and she, she's a Christian, and so it says symbolism without it really being overly stated.
Right.
So,
you get the story exactly.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it.
So that's a good example. I mean, you don't always have to speak from the stage and show up pictures of you speak from the stage, but you could do something like that.
Nice.
This is a picture about MCs. This whole article really talks about how to energize your MC excellence. And across the top is an example of a virtual MC, which is someone that we both know and love, Quinn Conyers. She's across the top there, and she is an amazing MC. So it really talks about if you're a speaker, you can also have a opportunity to be an MC. So that's what that article was about.
Shout out to Quinn, because she's going to be the MC for so we started a clubhouse every Monday at noon that she's the CJ clubhouse jockey, and then she also is going to be MC, and we have a Red Circle to Revenue training coming up on the 28th, talking about TEDx talks and maximizing those, and she's going to be MCing that as well. So
nice.
Crushing it.
She's excellent at that. The next article is really Denise A. Grant, related to Dr. NC Grant. She's the one that does her great events and does the hybrid events, but she talks about how to navigate events through COVID. It's really it's a thing.
Yeah, they're related.
Yeah, they are. They're related.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Keep it in the family. That's what I'm
talking about. In the family. Right. There you go.
Oh, snap.
There he is.
Oh, goodness.
There he is.
The main event from Baltimore, Maryland.
That's right.
Listen, this is
the videos are good. I tried to find some good ones.
Why do you use the little highlight thing?
I think one of those is a highlight. So. Yeah, I think that's the highlight one, where the lady from overseas. Yes, I think that was the one I used. Is that it?
Oh no, that's our interview, which is great.
Oh, that's
that works.
Dr. David M. Walker, and I think the other one on the left side may be.
Okay.
Yeah, because he did a podcast in London, I believe.
Yeah.
And the lady did a really there it is. That's the one.
I love that.
That's great. That looks good.
That does look good.
So these graphics, yo. What's going on?
Man, I can introduce you. I can introduce you.
That was the bomb.
Yeah,
yes, that was.
He's cool. Really good. His name is JR. He's phenomenal at it.
Drop that in the chat.
I need to talk to JR. Like,
man, I'm about to. JR number. JR is really, really good.
He's an editor.
Yes, that's what he does.
He shot it and edited, or just edited?
He just edited it.
He pulled images that I already had and footage that I already had and shined it up.
Oh, we need to talk
some of those were things that Pam had fussed at me about for being fuzzy, and he cleaned it up. He's really, really good. He's really good.
You can't pay enough to an editor.
Yeah,
that is so.
I know. People don't realize how important editing is.
Yeah.
What's this background flag?
Where?
Ghana.
That's Ghana, right? Okay.
Right. So I was
we
doing
talking about Ghana.
That's right. Yep. 10-day leadership tour in Ghana.
But you had a tour, right?
Right. It was supposed to be next week, but today people get sick sometimes, and so there was too many people that got sick, and so they shut it down.
Okay. Well, it's on your vision board.
We got to postpone it, right?
You got a picture of it that you're going to be going there.
That's right.
But do let us know, let the audiences know what the intent of that was, because that's a pretty big deal. A 10-day tour, leadership tour. That's
10-day leadership tour through Ghana. Yeah. So how it worked out was this: there's an organization that has a school for girls in Ghana, and they do this fundraiser, and so they bring groups of Americans and other folks to take this tour through the western coast of Ghana and see all these sites. Well, at first, they were asking me to come and speak at the graduation ceremony for the school. But I was like, if I'm going to be there, I would like to do the whole tour, just kind of experience it. And then they said, well, if you're going to be there and experience the whole tour, you might as well talk every day. And so we kind of worked that out, what that looks like on paper. And then we had a 10-day tour. And so each stop, multiple cities in the country of Ghana. I was going to be talking to Ghanaians and Americans about getting our minds right, you know.
I love that.
And that's how you do it. You have to capitalize on opportunities like that. You don't go to Ghana and only speak once, and there, you have to capitalize on every step along the way.
And you know, Pam, to Michelle McKinney Hammond, who lives in Ghana.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's gonna happen, and
I'm
gonna go with you when you go.
We gotta do it.
I gotta hang out with Michelle.
I wanted her to take you to.
You need your writer with you. Look, we need your writer,
Brian. Yolanda.
But she already invited us.
I'd be like,
on Clubhouse.
Well, I mean, I haven't. Has anybody been to Africa at all yet?
Yes, I have been.
Yeah. Okay. What country you went to?
So listen, man, when I landed at the airport in Johannesburg, and they picked me up in the middle of the night, 1:30 in the morning, and took me to the largest casino hotel, immaculate edifice of a building that I've ever been to, right? With all of these black folk, everybody, thousands of people in this big old building, and they was all black. And then we left there and we drove through the highways downtown, looking at the billboards and the skyscrapers. And I was like, this ain't what they told me Africa was. I want y'all to hear me. I am not saying that there's no hoods there. I'm not saying that they don't got lions and tigers. Well, they don't have tigers, but y'all got grizzly bears in America. They don't got wolves. Y'all got panthers and wolves and alligators. So yes, wildlife is there, right? But that's in any continent that you go to.
It's supposed to be there.
But the metropolis that is Johannesburg is amazing. The malls that we went to.
Nigeria. Yeah, I went across Nigeria.
I want to go to Nigeria too. We got family who live in Nigeria.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say this was really, and again, shout out to Cier. This is really well written. Make sure y'all check it out at speakersmagazine.net.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you.
This next one is she's from Detroit. Sister Celeste. She has a magazine called Sister Talk, and she is she's been really doing a lot multimedia in her church as well. So she's kind of like a marketplace ministry because she does a lot of multimedia, speaking, the whole thing, getting the message out there. I love Sister Celeste.
I feel like everybody's in Detroit.
Yeah,
Detroit is like another B-more, bro.
It is. Black people doing it here.
That's right.
They are. Then we have this Brian Olds here. He was the cover for September 2020.
Where's he from, Pam?
He's from the DMV area.
Listen, she don't know.
Yeah, I know.
We had to let her slide. Yo, she tried to put Baltimore in DMV. Oh my God.
I'm not even, we don't even have time because now I'm gonna have to spend the rest of the afternoon like in the comments trying to deal with people. So yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, but no, this is awesome. And I do have to thank Pam as well as Mark and the entire Speaker Magazine team. One of my big I guess goals was to be a writer, and I didn't realize that was a goal. And eventually I of course want to be in write for like Business Insider and Forbes and stuff like that. So having this opportunity to be a thought leader in a magazine, and I've written, we need to go back and look at it, but probably close to, it has to be in double digits at this point.
Yeah, definitely, sure. We've been doing it for 4 years. You've been in 3 years. You were the official magazine, so this 3 times, that's 12. But
I think we probably skipped some months, but yeah, it's like definitely all of my publishing credit.
At least 30 articles.
Wow.
At least 30.
That's awesome, bro.
At least 30 articles. That could be your book.
Yeah, anthology.
There you
Fantastic.
Go.
I'm with it, but this was good. And then we got my guy, another BS.
You got a mic too.
Yes. Go back to your page for a minute, Brian. I think you have a video there. I think your video is, I think it's one of my favorite videos of you. I think is it your intro video or is
no? This is us from last month, I think.
Oh,
no,
okay.
This is from. When is this from?
What was that? I don't know.
Oh, this is when I first got
this where Mark was on.
Yeah, that's Mark. Oh yeah,
This was the last year when I first got it.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, because I'm looking at the. I have my office wasn't set up, so I was in the living room.
That's a nice plant.
Hey, Brian, your office is real good now.
That's when you want to cover, Brian?
This is last September, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Cool. So yes, I'll pull out stuff. If it's on the internet, it's gonna be in there. David M. Walker, he has really come a long way. I'm just so proud of him. The picture is a lot better than when he was in there the first time. All the whole thing, he's just really got clarity now. His brand is just crisp and clear. He's on the road of really having his own show on Sirius XM. So yeah, he's doing it. He's
another brand accelerator
I
graduate.
was about to say that. She's talking about how far he's come.
She's beating around the bush. So we got that. Don't worry about it.
Right. He's been accelerated with being a part of the program. So
he did really good.
Really, if you think you have a brand that is ready, poised to go, and you don't know how to do that, Pam Perry, I'm telling you, she's great at what she does.
And I can tell you for certain, I had the opportunity, I offer, brand clarity sessions, and I had a session with him. Mm-hmm. And, when we started talking, he was trying to figure some things out, but he's come out of her program knowing exactly what he wants to do and have connected with the people to help him get there. And that's what this program does for you.
That's right.
Yeah, tell me what your dream is. We're gonna make it happen. So just tell me what it is. It's like we can make it happen. Just if you figure it out, we can go further. So
I see we got speaker, podcast host, author up here for him. I was on his podcast a couple months ago, and then we were on BSN Sunday Seminar a couple weeks ago talking about it. Like he has one of the he does a really, really great job with the podcast, and even from the branding perspective. So it's like podcast has its own like social media properties, and he does such a good job of like taking the sound bites and making sure that they're relevant. So like he's doing an amazing job on all of these.
He just really busts out now. The other podcast over there is another Branded Accelerator graduate. That one is DexterBJenkins.com. He's a Faith Financial Mentor, very focused, very aligned. His podcast is called Wealthy Conversations, and he is doing it. I mean, really, he's a pastor, but he also talks about finances from the Christian perspective and from the biblical perspective to let people know that if you're Christian, it's okay to have wealth. You
Talk about it.
You're Christian, you don't got to be broke. Okay.
I needed that lesson.
Oh my God.
What I like about Dexter is that he was very clear with his brand. He knew what his message was. He knew exactly what he wanted to achieve, what he's been working on it. Right. He knew all of that.
Yep. It's real easy for him to really get out there. And then this one is a new column actually every month in Speakers Magazine. RJ, she is an encourager, and she encourages speakers because speakers can kind of feel a little beat up sometimes. It's a constant audition, and maybe you're not doing as much as you think you should be doing. So this article really is encouraging, and she is such an encourager. Oh my God, her story in itself. She was in a car accident and they said she would never walk. She's walking and talking today, and such an encourager. I love RJ Jackson. Yeah,
I met her in real life. She has like that like Oprah energy. Like
yes, she does. Wow. She's out phenomenal. I should ping her in here. I'm talking about her. But yeah, RJ is phenomenal. And then the Branding Accelerator, like I said, that starts on October 5th. I'm taking applications and interviewing people. It's only a small group. And so, like I said, if you can take it, you can make it. And it's one that will help you accelerate your brand. We work on your personalized whatever programs are.
Yeah, let's talk about why you're wearing the colors of the brand. And the colors.
I mean, you can't talk about Branded Accelerator. You got the wrong colors on. So orange means energy and excitement. So that's why it's orange.
That's acceleration, there.
It's like urgent orange, exciting orange. It's one of those colors of the orange.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So at one point in time, my colors were pink, and I kind of transcended out of that in more of the orange. So the orange and the red tone.
Those are my colors, pink.
Those were actually my colors too. They were pink, silver, gray,
Oh, nice.
Many years ago, and now it has morphed because the more you grow, as you change, your brand changes.
Right.
So the orange, we got let's see, MasterCard, Shell.
A lot of orange. I hate to say this, but that's kind of morphed into where I am too. The red, the fire.
Oh, yeah.
It is exciting.
Nice.
And then the last page is Delator McNeil.
Yo, this man is not playing with none of y'all.
So he is going to be the cover for October.
Oh, that's dope.
His book drops. And so usually when we do the Speakers Magazine, the person on the cover
has
is
an event.
the person on the cover has an event, and then the cover of that issue, the back cover is for the cover that's coming up. And so that's typically what that's always is. So like Bishop Vashti was on the cover of this one, and then she was on the cover of the other one. So it's been
so
like that.
We interviewing Del Toro next month?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Do you know him?
I have a lot of questions for him. First of all, is he really on that motorcycle?
I think he's really on the motorcycle, but I don't know about that background. That may be a green screen. So he might have just like maybe been in a
right.
Yeah.
I would think he's on a bike too, because there's no way you can edit with such perfection that holding
I
up.
want Yolanda to just do a photo shoot at with the Harleys.
I want
that would be hot.
I want to do this now.
I meant to tell you to tell Lisa. Tell Lisa to do that.
Oh, I should have done that.
I want to I think Del Toro. So Del Toro is he has been in the speaking game for a couple decades.
Right.
He's a certified professional speaker through NSA.
Brand.
But this man is like crushing it.
That bike fits his brand, right, Brian? Wouldn't you say?
Well,
as far as the power and the gear, the excitement, when you think of a motorcycle, a bike, you think of a Harley.
Maybe I think
not just a bike.
Del Toro could be on like a horse. And he'd be fine. It's fine. Like he can make it work. You know what I'm saying? And that's actually part of his thing. He's like very versatile.
Do you know him, Brian?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I know Del Toro. He is.
He was at SpeakerCon last year.
He was at SpeakerCon. Just incredible. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. So we this has been amazing. I know you guys are on site, so let's do some let's go around and get final thoughts, and then we could close out. And then Yolanda, I'm glad that you're here as well, and everybody that's been rocking with us. This has been fun.
It's been great.
And while y'all doing that, I'm gonna make sure because some people were asking about how to get into Speakers Magazine, and that whole process, and so we've opened that up. You can always every single month we have content that's due by the 20th or 15th.
And if they're on your list, that you send out a note and they can fill that out.
Exactly. And so if you're interested, you go to speakersmagazine.net/advertorial.
Yeah.
And then make sure you put BSN if you heard about Speakers Magazine through the Black Speakers Network.
Yep. Make sure you say BSN because if not, we will find you. We will make sure that we have a database. But guess what?
Yeah,
it's been an amazing partnership, Pam. You absolutely have, in my opinion, accomplished the mission that you and Mark set out to do when you launched this thing, and it is so cool to see it come to life every single month. Same for you, Cier. Like I know, just hearing your process of what you go through to bring the article and to write it and to interview everybody, it's always consistently good. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let me say this. I know they're probably tired of me, but congratulations to you, Rodney, for being on the cover. But I have got to say congratulations and thank you to Pam and Mark Perry for this magazine. Because guys, this magazine is for the community. It is for the culture. This is going to, be just as iconic as some of our other Black magazines.
That's right.
I know, and if you don't believe me, ask Pam, because I tell Pam they gotta respect this magazine, right?
Say it again, Cier. What you say?
What you say?
Say it again.
This magazine is going to be just as iconic as our other Black magazines, Jet and Essence. It really is. And so when I work with people to get their story, I'm very clear, and I asked Pam, I'm like, no, they got to respect the process. They got, you wouldn't call up Essence and say this, or you wouldn't, cancel this or that. No, you're going to respect this magazine because it is what it is. And it's going to continue to grow. It is serving a great service in our community.
Absolutely.
And look, I'm not the publisher, but I take this personally. Okay?
I love it.
So thank you, Mark and Pam Perry, for what you do and what you guys are doing with this magazine. And I'm just grateful to be part of it. I really am.
We got another one. Our house is full back here.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you so
There
much.
he is.
There he is.
Yes, Mark.
Oh, this is awesome.
All
I always
right.
learn so much from you guys.
For the Clubhouse people, Mark Perry just came into the screen.
Right,
He just joined us.
You notice how like the temperature of the room dropped down a little bit?
That's right. When Cool Mark come through. Cool Mark come through.
Like, you know.
Yes.
Well,
Thank you.
Pam, do you have a last word?
I just want to say that the main thing about Speakers Magazine is to put a spotlight on those speakers that typically don't always get a lot of shine. And I want to make sure that it gets out, people get out there and get known. And if you really are interested, if you're serious and not just curious, did we just hear that today?
Yes.
Make sure that you get in Speakers Magazine, because when they Google you and you say, oh, I'm a speaker, and it shows up that you're in Speakers Magazine, it gives them a little bit more comfort level that you really are serious and not just curious.
Facts. Absolutely. I'm really big right now into like the entire digital marketing landscape, SEO, backlinks, all that good stuff. The more links, and like you can have like a bunch of stuff on your website, that's fine. But for Google cares about what's being linked from other authority places to your website. The more you have of that, the better. Yolanda, do you have a last word?
No, I just want to encourage everyone to continue doing what you're doing. It's fantastic. It's impactful. Cier, thank you so much for your comments and coming in and helping us accelerate ourselves even more with some good content tips. I have used some of those already to write an article. So we really appreciate all that you all do. And we encourage you to continue to share and be open books, because we are constantly reading and learning. Thanks so much.
I love that.
She got the voice.
Love that voice. YolandaVO.com.
Listen, y'all better recognize. All right, Rodney. Last word is yours, brother.
Yes. So I just want to say thank you. And for those of you that ever had children in your life that didn't listen, and then somebody came and said the same thing and then they got it, that's what we can do together. I can be that with us. At Rodney C. Burris, RodneyCBurris.com, info at Rodney C. Burris. I would love to connect. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Pam.
Absolutely. You got it, brother.
Thank you,
All right.
Brian.
You are welcome. We are out. We'll see
Cier.
y'all next month. Continue to do